Ingrid Fetell opens joyful with a powerful insight: joy isn't elusive or abstract, it's often tangible and sensory. She explains that we tend to think of joy as something internal and psychological, but it's often sparked by external things, like confetti, fireworks, or a bright pink wall. Her book is a celebration of these seemingly small moments and how we can invite more of them into our lives. Lee, trained as an industrial designer, became fascinated with the relationship between design and emotion. Through research and interviews with neuroscientists, artists, and architects, she found that there are specific visual and physical qualities that consistently trigger joy. These include round shapes, vibrant colors, symmetry, and unexpected abundance. She organizes the book around what she calls the aesthetics of joy, 10 categories of design that consistently evoke delight. These include energy, bright colors, abundance, lushness and multiplicity, freedom, open space, harmony, balance and symmetry, and play, whimsy and surprise. Each chapter explores one of these aesthetics, supported by examples from art, design, and everyday life. In the chapter on energy, Lee explains how vivid hues like hot pink, lemon yellow, and electric blue activate the brain's pleasure centers. Bright colors create a sense of aliveness and optimism. She encourages people to use color intentionally, whether in their wardrobe, home, or office, to boost mood and creativity. Abundance, she writes, isn't about consumerism, it's about sensory richness. A field of wildflowers, a bowl full of ripe fruit, or a collection of paper cranes can all generate joy through their fullness and variation. These visuals speak to the brain's love for pattern and diversity. They suggest possibility and play. When discussing freedom, Lee turns to open, airy environments. She explains how humans are wired to respond positively to spaciousness because it signals safety and potential. High ceilings, open windows, and flowing movement invite a sense of release and emotional expansion. She links this to why minimalist or decluttered spaces often feel so calming. In the harmony chapter, symmetry and balance take center stage. Lee explains that the human brain craves order and coherence. When things align visually, they can soothe anxiety and create a sense of peace. She gives examples from traditional architecture, sacred spaces, and even table settings that use symmetry to create a joyful feeling. The aesthetic of play brings in surprise, irregularity, and charm. Lee looks at playgrounds, colorful street art, and quirky furniture as examples of joyful play. She argues that adults need play as much as children do, and that playful design invites spontaneity, laughter, and connection in everyday life. Surprise is closely tied to play, but it's more about the unexpected. Lee shows how small surprises in design, like a hidden message inside packaging or a door painted a bold color, can evoke. Lee also writes about magic, the feeling of awe or mystery sparked by shimmering materials, reflections, or illusions. This aesthetic taps into our sense of wonder and makes the ordinary feel enchanted. She references everything from reflective buildings to bioluminescent art installations to show how magic can uplift a space. Throughout the book, she reminds us that joy is not trivial, it's vital. In times of stress, fear, or trauma, moments of joy are not distractions but lifelines. They restore our energy, connect us to others, and remind us of beauty. Lee argues that joy builds resilience and should be intentionally cultivated. Her philosophy is that design should not just be functional or beautiful, it should also be emotionally nourishing. She encourages readers to move away from sterile minimalism or grown-up seriousness and allow themselves to be guided by joy. A polka dot pillow or a bright blue teacup might seem small, but their emotional impact can be profound. Lee includes practical suggestions throughout the book. She encourages readers to fill their homes with joyful cues, bold art, curved shapes, natural light, bursts of color. She advocates for bringing joy into workplaces, schools, and public spaces, where it can uplift communities and improve well-being. The book is deeply rooted in neuroscience, but it reads with the warmth of a personal essay. Lee shares her own experiences, from joyless corporate offices to colorful street festivals, and invites readers to reflect on what brings them joy. Her voice is warm, curious, and contagious in its enthusiasm. Lee also highlights how joy is a form of resistance. In a world often filled with stress, injustice, and chaos, choosing to prioritize joy is a radical act. It's about claiming space for delight, pleasure, and beauty, even in small, quiet ways. She urges us to seek out these sparks not just for ourselves, but for others as well. In the end, Joyful is a call to live more vividly. It shows that joy doesn't have to be something we chase through big goals or life changes, it can be cultivated through small, tangible shifts in our surroundings. The book teaches us to pay attention, to play, and to allow ourselves to be moved by ordinary things. Through the lens of joy, the world becomes more generous, more beautiful, and more alive.